Oh yeah, we're live.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to our channel. Getting on the grind and improving your mind every single video that we do, guys. Make sure you hit the like button, help us out. Subscribe to our channel if you have not already. Today is going to be a little fun kind of stream, but also kind of like serious. Because we're going to go into, well, first of all, we're going to be going into law number 1 of Robert Greene's 40 Laws of Power. And we're also going to be showing a prime example from a film, a great film, by the way, released in
Love this film.
released in 1986, starring Rodney Dangerfield. It's called Back to School, and basically the movie is about. Here, we'll open up the thing so you guys can see the scene we're going to be going into and dissecting in today's class, in
Gloss.
today's real talk class segment. Basically, the father played by Mike. Explain the plot. I'll let you.
Listen, so Rodney Dangerfield never went to school. He never went to school. He was a businessman, and so he decided to go back to school, go back to college to get, to graduate and everything, and his son is going to this college, so he decides to go to the same college as his son, and he tries to go through um school with him pretty much, and hope to pass and everything. And so we get to specifically this economics class. And so, because Rodney Dangerfield's character has a background in business, he feels a certain type of way about how business should be run, or, he pretty much puts what he does it through his business, and tries to pretty much teach the teacher and teach the class on his own on how he runs his stuff and how he operates his business and everything like that. And it turns into a way where the teacher doesn't like that, and
And throughout the
it
movie, the
pretty.
teacher basically makes this guy's life a living hell as
Oh
well. And he
yeah,
also tries to get at him in certain ways, but of course, you have to watch the whole movie to find that out. But in this scene, it basically demonstrates perfectly how this law basically is implied in this movie and how it's used. And literally, I mean, if you watch the movie, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. But in this class, Rodney Dangerfield's character, Thornton Mellon, is in this class, and he's just started in the college. This is his first day of class in the movie, and basically the professor's going off on how this business is going to be, like, through like an example. And what Rodney Dangerfield does, his character does, is not a really smart move, especially if this was in a real life situation, which many people unfortunately do all the time. But this is more of an outright example, but it's actually a really good example on how people will use this law and completely mess up their entire life because they didn't follow this law. And I think it's a very important one to follow.
yeah,
But really, we're going to go into the scene and we're going to show you guys exactly what we're talking about. So we're going
yeah.
to begin.
And for anyone who doesn't know what Law 1 is, what the 48 Laws of Power is, please read the book by Robert Greene. It's a great book. Law 1 is never outshine the master. And so, of course, the master here in this scene is going to be the teacher. And what you shouldn't do is exactly what Rodney Dangerfield's character does, Mr.
Basically,
Mellon.
what
So,
Outshining the Master does is when you make your master or your boss or someone that's higher than you make them feel insecure and inferior. And in return, they get jealous or they get angry at you, and
and they
then
lash back.
they lash out in certain ways, whether it be conscious or unconsciously. They come after you, right? So we're going to show you guys the perfect example on how this happens right now.
Yeah, so let's lash.
Right, settle down, people. We've got a lot to cover, and time is short. There are two kinds of people in business today, the quick and the dead. So rather than waste your time this semester
So hit the
with a
pause
lot
button.
of...
So automatically, the student is already going, huh, to the teacher. He's already presuming this teacher doesn't really have much knowledge, and he's already thinking ahead on how good he is and how bad this teacher, how dumb this teacher could be. So he already has the mindset of that he's better than everybody else. Now, there are people in the world that do have this kind of mindset. There are those kind of people that think they know more than everybody else. They're better than them automatically because they have a degree or something else that's really dumb, right? They think they are superior to those around them. And what they fail to understand is they don't have the empathy for those people. They don't really get in too deep to the other people's minds. And then they make the mistake of saying things or doing things that goes against the person outright, and the other person knows that you're trying to make them feel bad or make them feel dumb, and then they can sense that. So he automatically is losing in a certain way because he has the mindset of, yeah, this guy ain't nothing. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm already smarter than him in a certain way, and this should not be. You should not be doing this. You should always look into what you can learn from those who are less than or greater than you. You should always be having an open mind and knowing how to learn certain things.
Yeah,
Right? Any other thoughts, Mike, on that?
Because regardless of if you feel that you're superior to somebody else, they always can have a completely different experience than you do. And so by learning how their experiences, you can have a different mindset and a different perspective on a specific area that maybe you already knew a specific way of doing something. Now someone has a completely different perspective as well on the same thing, and you can learn from them and see what would be better, what you think could work easier, and just have different an opener more open mindset to other people's ideas, perspectives, opinions, and see what actually works in real life. So let's continue watching this.
Useless theories. We're going to jump right in with both feet and create a fictional company from the ground up.
Yeah.
We'll construct our physical plant. We'll set up an efficient administrative and executive structure. Then we'll manufacture our product and market it. I think you'll find it very interesting and a lot of fun. So let's start by looking at construction costs of our new factory.
What's the product?
That is immaterial for the purposes of our discussion here, but if it makes you happy, let's say we're making tape recorders.
Tape recorders? Are you kidding? The Japs will kill us on a labor course.
So at the pause button. So obviously, guys, this movie was released in 1986. So
if you don't know what a tape recorder is, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't. Then you failed.
Yeah.
But pretty much, so he's automatically speaking, just talking outright, pretty much, and going above the class, and he's already trying to insert his point of view against what the teacher's trying to teach, right? So a lot of people do that when someone is trying to explain something to you. You basically are disregarding some of the stuff they're saying or how they think about the situation, and you insert your own opinion and your own facts to that, and they're automatically like, "Why is this guy trying to get in my way?" I mean, you something you should not do in real life, and will get you in a lot of trouble. And you automatically go against the master, so you're automatically losing, and you're going into someone's environment and trying to take over when sometimes it's not the best idea.
Definitely not. It only is going to get worse from here.
Okay, fine. Then let's just say they're widgets.
What's a widget?
It's a fictional product. It doesn't matter.
So the teacher's getting annoyed. He's questioning him. He's questioning everything to the minor detail. And in the movie, it's funny, and the teacher's kind of a dick. But in real life, that will get you in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, exactly. And especially since Mr. Mellon here, he's a very he's an actual businessman. He actually went through this in real life, in the real world in this movie, and now is trying to learn it through the matter of education. He believes to himself that he has to question everything, which turns out that he doesn't realize that what situation he has actually put himself into, and the things we can only get worse from here, where he's going to probably much could just continue to question and make things worse for himself.
When in reality, it's really pointless to. I mean, if he wants to go in this class and get this degree, and he wants to play to his strengths and actually just want to get through this and just have a good time in general in this college, he would just go along with whatever, he already fine. If he has the knowledge, cool, but he should at least play along, right? Yeah. You got to be smooth with it. You can't just go outright and just pretty much ridicule the master of the environment. You're going to get yourself in trouble. This is not his environment. This is not his college. He's a guest in a way. Well, he's paying to be a guest in this college, and he's going to this class, into this course, and telling his teacher, "Hey, I know what it is. You don't. I'm going to take over, and it's not going to help you get good grades. It's not going to help you win in this situation."
No.
Doesn't matter. Tell that to the bank.
Take it easy. Take it easy. It's the first day,
On the board, you will see a cost analysis for construction of a 30,000 square foot facility, which will encompass both factory and office space, and is fully serviced by all utilities, a railroad spur line, and a 4-bay shipping dock.
Hold it. Why build?
See, he continues to question. He continues to I mean, it's great to like to always ask a question.
You want to do it
but
humbly, though. You want to do it
yeah,
in a certain way.
the-
It's about how you come across when you say certain things.
yeah, 'cause he's making himself, he's speaking in a manner where he believes that he knows more than his teacher, his instructor, right? And which then makes the instructor uh very angry and makes him, pretty much want to berate him in a way where, he wants to sit him down and put him in his place, but at the same time he really can't at the moment, because how Rodney Dangerfield's character is in the movie, he's just a continuous like motor mouth of asking questions, and he just continues to make himself feel he's bigger than everybody. So let's continue with the scene. We're like halfway through.
Hey, you're better off leasing at $1.25, $1.50 a square foot. Take your down payment and put it into CDs or something else you can roll over every couple of months.
Thank you, Mr. Mellon. But we'll be concentrating on finance a little later in the term. For the time being, let's just concentrate on the construction figures, shall we? You will see the final bottom line requires the factoring in of not just the material and construction costs, but also the architect's fees and the costs of land servicing.
Oh, you left out a bunch of stuff.
So once again, he goes off the rail and say, yeah, you're not getting the whole point. You're not teaching these kids right. Basically going to this man's classroom, telling him that what he's doing is wrong. And I mean, this kind of behavior does actually happen in real life. A guy will come into a meeting or something when it comes to business or when it comes to a friend group, he'll insert his opinion. No, or whatever facts he may think he has. Yeah, this should be done this way. I want it done this way. And everybody else is like, what? Like, that's not a good way to build relationships with others. Because they can tell you're trying to come over them, and people don't want to feel like they're inferior to you. People don't like to feel that they ain't shit, pretty much.
Yeah.
And when you come in there and you talk some crap and you put them down in a certain way, and they could sense it, they could feel it. And a lot of people are already insecure. And they feel like they're not good enough, even when a lot of times they are. So when you come in there and you anti-humbly pretty much take them down and you say they're not really doing a good job and you're not as smart as you think you are, they're going to retaliate in, it could be consciously or unconsciously or like low key. They can retaliate against you in the future, and it's going to make your life a living hell. I'm sure you could think of things in real life.
Yeah, and like this is something you shouldn't even do in the first place, because when you put yourself into a situation where you are out of your comfort zone, granted, when it comes to Rodney Dangerfield's character here, this is a business class, so he believes he's in his comfort zone because he knows business. However, the environment that he is in this class is something completely different, where he's sitting there in a lecture hall with a professor who is trying to teach the entire class, and he believes that he is the only person in the classroom. He is the center of the universe, and by him thinking this way is going to backfire on him tremendously, and he ruins the opportunity that he has to create relationships with his instructor, with the students around him, and create a network of people to improve and build upon his ability to get through the rest of college and to get through this class and to learn new things with new perspectives. He just completely ruins that completely just by him having the mindset that he has and him opening his mouth.
Yeah, if he had some real game, like his character in the movie, he would probably try to make friends with the professor and try to understand what's going on, how the college works, and make some good connections off that. Let me know about the other teachers. Hey, yeah, I know some stuff in business. I'd like to learn from you. He could have went to the teacher and say, hey, I like what you're teaching here, and I have some business experience of my own. I would like to learn some of the things from you. And then he can go to the master and get the teacher in this example, to teach him a few things, even though he might be full of crap. But at least the teacher will feel like he's being needed, and he's being able to teach someone certain things. Like, yeah, I'll teach you a few things of business. He could have made a friend of him and could have made his character's journey throughout the movie a lot easier if he would have had some game, and he would have, instead of ridicule him, he could have befriended him and be like, "Hey, I want to learn some stuff from you." Like, "Oh, yeah, what kind of stuff?" "Yeah, and I want to learn some business stuff. Maybe I can get my business and my economics in my own life to get a little bit better." And he could have made a friend out of him instead of making him feel, inferior and all that. So, not a good idea.
Yeah.
Not a great plan.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Like what, for instance?
Well, first of all, you're going to have to grease the local politicians for the sudden zoning problems that always come up. Then there's the kickbacks to the carpenters. And if you plan on using any cement in this building, I'm sure the team should like to have a little chat with you, and that'll cost you. Oh, and don't forget a little something for the building inspectors. Then there's a long-term cost, such as waste disposal. I don't know if you're familiar with who runs that business, but I assure you it's not the Boy Scouts.
That'll be quite enough, Mr. Mellon. Maybe bribes and kickbacks and mafia payoffs are how you do business. But they are not part of the legitimate business world. And they're certainly not part of anything I'm teaching in this class. Do I make myself clear?
Sorry, just trying to help, that's all.
Now, notwithstanding Mr. Mellon's input, the next question for us is where to build our factory.
How about Fantasyland?
And
I've
that
settled-
right there
So
solidifies
yeah,
him.
yeah. So at that point, the teacher's basically after him for the rest of the movie. So yeah, so he basically makes a full-on laughing stock of this teacher at the end of the scene and throughout the rest of the movie. Of course, guys should definitely watch it. I recommend it.
Very great movie.
Makes his life,
Amazing.
he tries to make his life hell and he basically just tries to, make this teacher look like an idiot, which he does to a certain degree. But it's really for all the wrong reasons. A lot of you guys, you're better off in real life really trying to understand other people's perspectives, and instead of coming at them, even if it's like discreetly coming at them, people are not dumb. Well, at least most are. A lot of people are, but I mean, they can feel when someone's coming after them. So you have to be very smart when you choose your words and how you say things to certain people and how it comes off, because it could make or break your life. It could literally, you can develop amazing network connections if you're smart on how you do things. Everyone you meet, you should act like you have something to learn from them, because then they will, they will be comfortable being around you. They will support you, and they could become an ally. And in this life, you want to create a lot more allies than you have enemies, because when your enemies attack you, you'll have all these allies to back you up, and people will respect you. Right? Any thoughts?
Yeah, exactly. And when you go into, especially when you go into an environment that you really aren't too keen of, and you don't really know certain things, you feel like you're in a place where you don't know what you should be doing, where you should be. You always have to start just networking and just start building relationships with people. Understand who are the superior people, who are the inferior people. Build relationships with both. Let the inferior people know that you want to learn from them, and you can let them know that you have stuff that can be learned from as well. If they feel like that you want to that way, you can put out the feelers of networking. That way you can learn from them, they can learn from you. Those types of deals are always great, especially uh knowing that you have something to give, but also wanting to learn is the best thing, especially from people who you believe are superior to you. They would love to teach you because they feel really good. They feel like, oh, I'm needed. I have a purpose. I have something that I can give to others, right? Those people love those things, and so they will do what they can to do that. And if they feel good enough to be like, I feel good for doing this, do you have anything that I can learn from you? And then you can go back and forth there and build a strong connection with a lot of people. The thing is that you don't want to outshine the master, and you don't want to be of pretty much the second coming of them, but you want to know your place in the environment that you're in, know who is superior, who's inferior, and you want to build connections, build relationships with these people, and move in a way where you don't step on anybody's toes, you don't make anyone feel inferior. You know who you are, but you know where everyone else stands as well.
Right, guys. You want to make sure that you're working smarter, not harder in this world. And building good connections with people could be very easy, or you can make it very hard on yourself just by having a certain degree of social intelligence. And it'll get you very far in this life if you, I mean, this is a comedy movie and it's a comedy scene that we're going over, but it really applies to the real world in certain ways. And if you guys pay attention to certain scenes in films, you could really make your life a lot easier, and you can learn from these things and use it to your advantage to make yourself have an easier life. So, guys, let us know what you guys think in the comment section about this law and everything that we went over. Let us know your thoughts and anything you've learned or any examples from real life that you could think of. And make sure you give a good like on this video, help us out, and subscribe to our channel. And we're going to see you guys in the next video.